Hello friends, welcome to KT Research Guidance Bureau. Myself, Dr. Kumudini R. Thakur, would like to share few words for my bureau. This bureau is very helpful to all research students, postgraduate students, those who are doing their MBA, MCom and any other master degree courses, and those who are interested to clear their NET, SLET or any other competitive exams. Moreover, this bureau provides enough guidance to those persons who are interested in research work. So, my humble request to you that please subscribe my bureau, give your comments and favor for the bureau. In previous sessions, I cleared complete research methodology, and obviously you are interested to do your PhD work. So first of all, you have to make a proposal for your research study, not only for PhD but for any other research work. So let's try to understand the simple meaning of proposal, because we already learned research. So today, first I will give you the simple meaning of research proposal. A research proposal is a document proposing a research project. Any of the research project you want to conduct. For that, you have to make a proposal. In another way, you can say that a research proposal is simply a structured formal document proposing a research plan of the researcher. So obviously, it is a structured and formal document so that you can understand what you want to do and you can convince the others that your proposal is very handsome and worthwhile. In a simple way, we can say that a research proposal is simply a structured formal document that explains what you plan to research. So, this is the simple meaning of research proposal. Now, another question may come in your mind. So, what are the goals of research proposal? So, first and foremost is to present and justify the need to study a research problem. First of all, you have to convey this message that this is essential. That's why you want to do some research work. And another thing is to present the practical ways in which the proposed study should be conducted and how you are going to conduct your study, that you have to clear, so that any funding agency or any university can understand your proposal and can sanction your proposal. So, you have to keep in mind both these things. Now, the another thing may come in your mind that about the length of the proposal. Obviously, your proposal must contain everything, but generally try to cover complete proposal in 2000 to 3500 words, or we can say that 4 to 7 pages. This is the general criteria. So, keep in mind length of the proposal. Now, when you want to propose something, that time ask some questions to yourself. If you are able to satisfy yourself, then you can prepare a good proposal. I would like to give you some of the questions that you have to ask to yourself. First is, what do I want to study? That is the first thing. Then, if subject is clear, then you can clear that idea that I want to study on this particular topic, or I want to solve this particular problem. Second question is, what is the importance of the topic? Is it related to modern environment? Is it able to find out a amicable solution? So, what is the importance? And if it is clear, then ask third question to yourself, that is, how it is significant with the subject areas. So, obviously, every subject has their own area, whether it is significant to that area. If it is significant, then okay. If it is not significant, then try to find out another subject. Then, what problems will it help to solve? So, suppose there is a knowledge gap, then you can brief. If you are interested to develop a new theory, then also it is okay. If you want to design a new instrument or some tool, then also it is okay. And another question is, ask to yourself, how does it differ with past studies in the same topic of area, or in that area, how you can distinguish it? I gave you one example about accountancy, and in that one, analysis of financial statements. This subject is very common, and nowadays it is easy also. But you know that majority of the students, they got PhD degree on this area. Now, what you want to do? Whether you want to analyze only from one point of view or from different angles, or you want to develop a future forecasting model for the company, so that they can guess that in next year this will be the balance sheet of that company. So, what you want to find out, how it is different? Then another, I can say, last question is, what exactly should I plan to do, and can I get it done in the available time? Obviously, time is always limited and we have to complete our target. So, ask yourself, are you able to complete this research work within the stipulated time period? If answer is yes for all these questions and you are satisfied, you are able to convince yourself, then you can start the work. Now, you want to make a research proposal because you satisfied yourself. Then what you have to keep in mind? First of all, title. Second thing is background and rationale. Third thing is research question, or you can say problem statement. Fourth one is research methodology. Fifth one is plan of work including time schedule, and then bibliography. This is the brief idea about your proposal, Now let's try to understand or analyze every aspect in detail. First of all, title. When you give the title, that time you have to keep in mind so many things. First one is your title must be clear, brief and interesting. We also know that when you read the story and if title is not appropriate or not good, not clear, then you don't like to read. Same is the case for research study. If title is not clear and interesting, then majority of the reader they avoid to read it. So first, clear. Second thing is should give a clear indication of proposed research approach. So your title must be able to give clear indication what you want to do. And in title, keep in mind your title should contain important keywords. That important keywords you have to use when you give the title to your research work. Now suppose financial analysis, title is clear, but in that one what you want to do? Suppose social responsibilities of the business, but in that one what you want to do? So along with the keywords, please give a complete brief title so that the reader can understand that you want to do this. Now the second angle is background and rationale of your topic, of your subject. In that one, first of all, do review of literature. Then you can create a good background for your topic. You can understand it very nicely. So in that one, first do review of the existing literature and then identification of discipline. You have to identify. Now so far as our commerce line is concerned, there are not so watertight compartment and many times we are unable to distinguish the disciplines. So previously commerce and accountancy, it was the same discipline. In many university they are in a different discipline. So finance, so clear that one, and then the background and issue of proposed research, that you have to clear so that at least you can create a good background for your research work. Then comes research question or your problem statement. When I discussed about the problem statement, that time I clear that it is not mandatory. And how you can develop a research problem, what you have to keep in mind, that I already explained you. So in that one you have to develop your research objectives. How to develop the research objectives? What is the logic for that one? That we already discussed. So keep in mind your research objectives. Then original contribution to knowledge, that your research work is original in nature and it contributes this much in existing literature, or this research work is able to bridge the gap that you have to highlight, and then how you are able to bridge the gap of knowledge, that also you have to explain. Then comes research methodology. Research methodology is the heart of your research work. In research methodology, you have to cover several things. Among them, first of all, types of data, whether your study is based on only secondary data or secondary and primary data both. Afterwards, your sample frame. So, how you are going to collect your sample, what is your sample size, what is the criteria for sample selection that you have to clear, and if possible do a pilot study so that you can get the idea whether your subject is appropriate or not. You are able to fulfill your objectives or not. Then statistical tools which you are going to use. Many times, many students, they ask me that, ma'am, we are the students of commerce, then why we use statistical technique to analyze our data? Then keep in mind, accountancy is no doubt a complete subject. We have enough tools and techniques for the analysis, but if we apply another technique, another angle for our study to support our techniques, then we can give better findings and better conclusions. So, along with accounting techniques, use statistical techniques also, and nowadays it is very easy and we have enough softwares and ready softwares are available. So, do not bother for that one. Then scope of the study, how much area you are going to cover. Suppose in financial analysis, which industry you are going to cover, in that industry how many companies you are going to cover, and in that one how many years you want to consider for your study. Means what is the scope of the study, and then importance of your study. Importance of your study, if it is a company financial analysis, then it is beneficial for the company, means company's point of view, shareholders point of view, investors point of view, and society's point of view, that you have to clear in your research methodology. Then comes plan of research work, including time schedule. When I explained you research design, that time I gave you the idea about time schedule. Keep in mind that design and time schedule. Accordingly, you can prepare it. In that one, if you have conducted pilot study and you spend enough time for your research work, and now you want to register that one, that time you have the idea, so you can give chapter planning. First chapter gives introduction. In that one, it covers introduction, objectives, etc., etc. Second chapter, review of literature. Third chapter, profile of the area, means give the idea about the chapters and how many chapters are there. Then your research design, which research design you are going to select. Then time schedule. Time schedule for the complete research work as well as topic wise, or you can say chapter wise, your time schedule. How much time you are going to consume for the data collection, for the analysis, that schedule you have to give. And one important thing is cost of your research work. how much is the cost. If you are unable to estimate properly, then what will happen? Middle of the way, you may have to drop it. So, find out the cost, estimated cost, it may be plus minus 1 or 2%, it is okay, and then feasibility, whether it is feasible or not. If it is feasible, then you can continue. If it is not feasible, then it is useless to do this exercise. And in that one, bibliography. A bibliography is a list of all the sources used for your research work. When you prepare the bibliography, that time give the author's name, title of the work, name of the location of the publisher, the date of publication along with year, and the page number of sources, so that if anybody is interested to check it, he can check, or if anyone has the doubt that your interpretation is wrong or you have not studied this book or magazine, then he can verify. So, in bibliography, these things you have to highlight. Now, I will give you one example for your research proposal. Suppose your title is Impact of ICT, means Information Communication Technology in Banking Industry. This is your title, but banking industry is very big, so you have to narrow down. So, in bracket you can write down a study of selected banks of Surat district. So, you selected the banks as well as your scope is restricted to Surat district only. In this one you can give an introduction, in that one you can highlight importance of ICT and banking industry, and then you can design the objectives. Your objectives may be 6, 7 if it is a PhD thesis. If it is a research paper, then only one objective is also enough. So, your objectives may be like this: to study the attitude of the bank officers and beneficiaries towards the usage of ICT based banking services. So, you want to cover both beneficiaries as well as officers, whether it is useful for them or not. Another objective is to know how far customers reach to the various ICT based banking services. ICT based banking services are very wide: credit card, debit card, fund transfer, ATM, means which service they use. Many times, many fellows they use only ATM. Many fellows they are interested on only fund transfer. So, you want to check this one. Then, to evaluate the growth of the banks by adopting the different types of ICT based banking product. And another objective also you can design, that is to assess the efficiency and profitability of banks after adopting ICT based banking services. No doubt, nowadays, previously bank was considered as a only service provider, but now it is an industry. So, at least they have to earn that marginal profit or some profit, then only they can develop. So, after using ICT, what is the effect on profit, that also you want to check. So, this way you can develop your research objectives. Now, you have to clear your research methodology. Obviously, this study is based on both primary as well as secondary data. So, clearly write down, the study is based on both primary as well as secondary data, and for how many years and how many persons you want to consider, that you have to mention in your sample frame. So, suppose you want to test 1500 samples. In that one, 1000 they are beneficiaries and 500 they are officers, and accordingly how many banks are there and per branch how many samples you will test, that you have to clear. So, this is your sample frame, and for that you can do your pilot testing, so that your questionnaire and schedules they are proper or not, that you can justify. And statistical tools which you can use, then percentage, frequency table, then cross table, etc., chi-square, that also you can use. So, these are the statistical tools you can use for your study. Now, the main thing is your planning of work. Keep in mind, when you prepare a proposal, that time introduction, your research methodology and your research design, they are the main area. But if you are very sure, then you can write down this way also. Chapter number 1, introduction. In that one you can cover everything: introduction, objectives, then importance, limitations, everything. Second thing is about review of literature. How many reviews you are going to cover, that you have to highlight. Then profile of the area. Suppose your area is Surat district, then give the profile of Surat district. How many branches are there and how many areas are there, etc. Then fourth chapter is about the Indian banking scenario. What is the scenario of Indian banking, that you can highlight. Then obviously fifth chapter is your data presentation and analysis, and last one is findings, conclusions and suggestions. This way you can prepare a research proposal. In previous session I gave you the idea about research report, and today I explained you research proposal. So, don't be in a dilemma. So, let us try to understand the difference between research proposal and research report. First thing is meaning. So far as research proposal is concerned, it is a structured formal document proposing a research project, while your research report is a document that systematically, chronologically and methodically present the research work. Second thing is about the timing. You have to make a research proposal before your research work, means it is a beginning of the project, while your report is after the completion of your research work. Then your research proposal deals with a topic, while your research report it deals with a result. Your research proposal is very short, while your research report is comparatively long. And so far as area is concerned, or you can say determinants are concerned, in research proposal you have to cover objectives, research methodology, importance of the research work, and in research report use past tense. So, this is the difference between proposal and research report. I hope you enjoyed the session. Please subscribe the channel, give your comments and favor for the bureau. Thank you very much.